everyone. So, sorry for being a little bit MIA for the past few days. There's just been so much going on, and I haven't really had too much time to really create any video content. So I want to apologize for that, and I am sorry. But I also want to update you guys on what exactly is going on. So, my daughter Amber, she's my 18-year-old. She was actually hospitalized last night. She's been sick. I don't know if I told you guys, but she moved out a few weeks ago to live with her best friend, and they're going to be going to college soon, so that's like a whole nother thing. But yeah, she got really, really sick around Tuesday night is when it all kind of started. By Wednesday, she was feeling really crappy. And then by Thursday, she had like a full-blown fever. She had gone to the doctors, was it Thursday? I believe it was Thursday. And they did a bunch of different tests and stuff, and they found out that she had a UTI. They found white cells and blood and all this other stuff in her urine. So, you know, it was easy to diagnose her with a UTI. The doctor sent her home with a script for Bactrim and Tylenol. And then, you know, she was taking it as she was supposed to, wasn't missing any doses or anything. Well, super late last night, I had actually gone over and dropped off some Motrin to her because she had Tylenol, and I was like, you need something stronger than that. The Tylenol wasn't touching the fever that she had, and neither was the Advil that I brought her. When I had seen her, she looked like, honestly, she looked like hot garbage. It was like, she looked terrible. And then a little while later, after her best friend got off work and she got home, I guess her fever had spiked again. It was actually at between 104 and 105 in the daytime, and you guys know at nighttime fevers like go crazy. So when nighttime rolled around, it had spiked to over 105. I think it was 105.3 or 105.4 when she's like, I seriously need to go to the hospital. So she came to the hospital, which is actually where I'm sitting right now. I'm outside the hospital. And they did a bunch of blood work, did a urine screen, did all this different stuff. She had texted me and told me that they were doing like this big evaluation, and they did some tests to see if she was super sick. They didn't really explain it to her. It was just something that they told her, we're testing you to see if you're super sick or not. So I didn't really know what that meant. And then when she told me that they had given her like an advance directive to sign, I was like, okay, I'm going to the hospital. I planned on coming up here anyway, you know, early in the morning, but at that moment when she told me that they had given her this advanced directive to look over and sign, I was like, oh my gosh, this is serious. So I got really, really worried, and I literally only live like 3 minutes down the road from here, which is really cool. So it was about 4:30 in the morning. I threw some clothes on, threw my hair up, and I was out the door. When I got here, the woman at the front told me that they took her right back. I got back there. She looked a little bit better than I had expected her to. And she actually looked a little bit better than she did when I had seen her earlier in the day. They were pumping her full of IV fluids. They had given her some Zofran so she stopped vomiting, because she had been continuously vomiting for like 3 days. Like, it wouldn't stop. She was even throwing up in her sleep. So that's really, really crazy and really scary, because anything could have happened. So they had actually checked her for sepsis, which, for you guys that don't know, that's basically blood poisoning. Because she met all the criteria pretty much for that. And so the blood work was supposed to be, for the sepsis, it was a 2 or under. Oh, I'm sorry. If she hit 2, then that meant she was in sepsis. If it was under 2, she was like probably not in sepsis, but hers was 1.8. So the nurse said she was actually at the beginning stages of the blood poisoning. So what happened was she had a UTI that completely flipped into a kidney infection, like really super fast. And then from there, it started to become a blood poisoning because she hadn't gotten the proper treatment quick enough, which is really crazy because usually that kind of stuff progresses sort of slow. This just happened in the matter of like a few days. So thank God is all I can say that she got here when she did. Even the nurse said, you know, it's a really, really good thing that you came and you got here when you did. They admitted her after all the blood work and everything came back. So yeah, she does have a kidney infection. She was at the beginning stages of sepsis. They have her on Rocephin now, which I had done some research online, and apparently that's like a super strong antibiotic that they usually use it to treat like meningitis and really serious bacterial infections. So that's kind of creepy, but I'm really glad that they know what they're doing and they have her on that. This isn't my preferred hospital where I wanted her. Like if it would have been me, I would have taken her to the one out the next city over, but you know, at that time she was like, she felt like death and she just wanted to be at whatever was closest, and this is the one. So regardless, we're here. I'm here. The baby wanted to come. I feel bad because I wanted to bring him and I know it would have made her day to see him, but I really don't want to expose him to the germs in the hospital, especially with his epilepsy and everything. I don't want to trigger any seizures or anything with him getting sick. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to be going in. It's raining out. I'll show you guys. It's really kind of gross. So yeah, I'm going to be going in here and I'll take some video and show you guys kind of around the hospital a little bit and show you what's going on, and maybe I'll get Amber to say hi too. We'll see. So yeah, we're walking into the hospital now. I've got to go up to the 4th floor because that's where she currently is right now. That's where they admitted her to. And then after that, probably spend like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes or so here. The weather is actually really bad, so I don't want to be caught in another storm on the way home. But yeah, so I guess we'll see. In the elevator right now. I don't really like these things at all. Oh, they freak me out. I hate that feeling in your stomach that you get for a moment. Now I'm headed to find her room, which I think is right down here. So I'm here in Amber's room right now. She's feeling like absolute garbage, like a hot garbage. I walk in the room and she's got like a rag on her head and poor thing. Say hi. So I'm gonna see her and I will be back. Hi everyone. So it is now Monday night. I haven't even had a chance to put together the content that I filmed the other night, but I'll probably just add the same video. So a lot has happened since the first video that I recorded. Basically, as a brief summary of everything that's been going on, Amber has been in the hospital now since, I believe, Thursday or Friday. She originally went to the doctor with what she was diagnosed with was a UTI. Overnight, that spiraled out of control really quickly, it seems, and it turned into a full-blown kidney infection, which turned into sepsis, which we found out this morning is actually E. coli. There was some issues this morning with some of the doctors that were on the floor that were going to let her actually go home today. They took her off of Zosyn, which is a really high-dose, strong antibiotic. She was doing really well on that, I think. I think it was one of the only ones that was actually working. They've tried her on 4 different antibiotics before that, and none of them had worked. This one actually had brought the fever down, although the fever did keep spiking. They took her off of that just so they could put her on, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, their pills, and they were going to try to send her home today. I was not okay with that, because last night she had an incident in the middle of the night where her Her heart rate sped up to over 200 beats a minute. Her saturation, meaning her oxygen absorption basically in her body, plummeted, and she was having a really hard time breathing. So the nurses ran in, put her on oxygen. This is the second time, mind you. And then the fever came back. They had an ice blanket on her. They had ice packs under her armpits, on her forehead, on her neck. She was still 103 after Tylenol, after Motrin, after the ice. So the infectious disease doctor, after finding out that she has E. coli, had gone into the room and said, no, you can't go home. And that was only after the fever had spiked. That wasn't after all the other stuff. Well, yesterday she started complaining about her lungs hurting really bad. And that really concerned me because I know E. coli can do some crazy stuff and it can travel to different locations in the body and affect different organs. Mind you, Amber also has a heart condition called an incomplete right bundle branch block, which in a nutshell basically just means that she has a hard time, her heart has a hard time pumping the blood to her extremities. And it takes longer than it's supposed to, and it misfires electrical signals and things like that. So she has a problem where she passes out quite frequently. She feels nauseous a lot. She's dizzy all the time. It sucks, honestly. Like, we've tried so hard to get to the bottom of it. She has, like, one of the most amazing cardiologists in the area, but there's simply no cure for that. And unfortunately, we've tried pretty much everything we possibly could, but that's a whole nother story. So anyways, she has a heart condition on top of all this other stuff that's going on, so her heart is working, like, extra hard right now to try to keep up with all of this, and I think it's just having a really hard time. So yesterday, her lungs started hurting really bad, and I think she was kind of downplaying it a little bit, but I could tell it was really bothering her, and I said, did you say something to the nurse? And she said no. So when the nurse came in the room, I mentioned it to her, and so they brought her an incentive spirometer, which is basically like this tool that you, like, suck air in from, and you have to try to, like, balance this little ball between these two things that measure the air that you're breathing in, and she's supposed to have used it 5 times every hour that she's awake. So basically just 5 breaths out of it every hour she's awake. Well, I don't know if she was using it as much as she was supposed to or not. I haven't been able to be here all day. I just now got to the hospital. My car is done. It's toast. It's finito. No more. I no longer have a vehicle, so now we're down to one car, or one truck, my husband's truck, and so that's a whole nother issue. So I haven't been able to get here all day, plus I don't want to bring the baby here because of his epilepsy, and if he gets sick, it could trigger convulsive seizures and all this other stuff, so I kept him home. I don't want to bring him to a hospital environment, even though I literally live right down the street. It just wasn't worth it for me. My brain is just so frazzled. I've barely slept the past few nights, and I'm, like, so stressed out right now. I actually just stopped crying because I'm so overwhelmed by all this. But okay, so found out tonight they did a CAT scan, and they did some more blood work and blood cultures and stuff, and they found out that she now has pneumonia in her left lung, which I called yesterday, and nobody would do anything about it, and nobody checked into it, and I knew it was there. It's one of those gut feeling things. As a mom, you just know. And just like my husband called E. coli with her, and it took 48 hours for that to develop. So, yeah, now she's got E. coli, she's got a kidney infection, she's got blood poisoning, she's got pneumonia, she's also got a heart condition, and all of this wrapped up into one, and I'm a mess. I think I'm more of a mess than she is. Not physically, but, like, mentally and emotionally, and, like, I just feel like I can't catch a break in life right now. There's just, like, one thing after another, and this year especially has been, like, so hard with so many different things. I just, like, wouldn't even know where to start with it all. And honestly, if I didn't have God, if I didn't have my faith, I really honestly don't know where I'd be right now. I'm stretched so thin between everything that's going on, and this is a lot, you know, not knowing, the uncertainty of, like, what's going to happen with your child, and she might be 18, but she's still my baby, and I hope she knows how much I love her.
And I've been praying for her, and I've had family praying for her, and my Instagram people are praying for her, and they're sharing everything going on with their prayer groups and their churches, and I'm just really praying for wisdom right now for the doctors to really get a grip on this and figure it out, because this is scary and it's very upsetting, and I just want her to be okay. So now I'm here. I'm about to go inside the hospital. I brought her a half and half sweet tea from Dunkin' because she asked me for one. And I got her a pack of peanut butter M&Ms because I know she likes those. And a pack of gum too. I'm just going to try to go in, and I know right now, right before I got here, she told me they were in the middle of running some more lab work on her, more tests. They were doing tests for other upper respiratory infections and other stuff that might potentially be going on, so yeah, I'm gonna go inside here, and then I'll make a video after and kind of update you guys, I guess, on what I see. Earlier I went off on some of the nurses over the phone. You know, when it comes to your child, and you feel like people are playing games and things aren't being done to your liking, and you feel completely out of control, and you want people to listen to you, but you don't have that medical degree, that little piece of paper that says, hey, I know exactly what I'm talking about because I've got the medical credentials. So, yeah, this is upsetting, and this is my kid. It's not their kid, you know. They go home at the end of the day, and everything is fine for them in their life, and their kids aren't sick in the hospital, but mine is. And so, yeah, I'm going to go inside now, and I'll be back.
Okay, so I just got out of the hospital. I spent like an hour and 40 minutes in there. During the time that I was in there, there was a lot of different testing going on. Thank God her fever it's gone. It's normal temperature right now. As far as everything else, the testing, they're doing pretty much every single test in the book right now to kind of see if there's anything else going on, because she just keeps getting sick with all of these different things all at once. Some of the testing is actually pretty scary. Just to name a couple, they're testing for MRSA. They already did that test, and they tested for the flu, but I know she doesn't have the flu. But along with the flu test, there's other tests that they can test for with that flu swab. It was like RVP or something. And I know they're going to be doing a whole slew of other tests as well, so we're waiting on culture results, which are probably going to take 48 hours, and I'm waiting on a whole bunch of blood work results as well. She was super tired, so she kind of like kicked me out. I wanted to stay there for a little bit so I could speak with the infectious disease doctor who was supposed to be checking in a little bit, but she wanted to have the lights off and just get some rest, so I understand all that. I'm not happy about the fact that they took off her heart monitor, but apparently it's not ordered any longer due to the fact that her fever's gone. It's when the fever starts spiking that they put the heart monitor back on. I think they called it a teeter monitor. That's when they put that back on, because that's when her heart rate starts to really climb. So I'm praying that doesn't happen again tonight. If it can stay stable where she doesn't have the fever, then she shouldn't need the heart monitor. As far as medications go, this is like the 5th antibiotic she's been on now. They started her, I think, on one called Merum for the pneumonia, and then they took her off Zosyn for the Ecoli, and now they're treating her with another medication that begins with a Z, Zosir or something. No, that's not it. I don't remember what it is, but it's another one that starts with a Z, and it sounds really familiar, really similar to the other one that she was on. She doesn't look as bad as she should for being as sick as she is, but, you know, she just looks terrible. I feel bad. She's just miserable right now. So, I'm just going to go home and continue to pray, and I know God is, you know, He's the great physician. He is the healer. I believe that He will heal her, and I think that hopefully here within the next few days she'll be 100%, I'm hoping. And I know there's so many people praying for her right now, and where there's two or more praying for the greater good of a thing or a person, Jesus is right there with them. So I know everything's going to be okay, and I'm just putting all my hope and all my trust in God, that He will take care of this, and I know that everything is going to work out the way that it should. We're still not actually sure if the pneumonia she's got now is contagious, because it could be. They're waiting for the culture to develop from that. I'm not sure if we're even going to know within 48 hours. I know the MRSA test is going to be back tonight. That's terrifying. Oh my gosh. I hope that one's okay. But that one's going to be back tonight. And the RVP or whatever it was, that one's going to be back tonight as well. But as far as the culture, they did like a sputum culture and like all this other stuff. Blood cultures and stuff. Not really sure when all that's going to be back, but I know a couple of them are going to take like another 48 hours, which is how long it took to develop the Ecoli as well. So, I don't know. I'll post updates as I can. And yeah, if you guys could continue to pray for her, that'd be awesome. I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I had to come out to get diapers for the baby because we only have one left. And in the midst of everything that's been going on, that's honestly something I didn't even think to do. So I was just sitting here in the truck in the Walmart parking lot, and I was listening to two of my favorite songs that are helping to get me through all this stuff that's going on right now, and just literally every chaotic thing in my life that's kind of been spiraling around me lately. One song is called Symphony, or Writing a Symphony. I'm not even quite sure, to be honest with you, but oh my gosh, you guys, if you have like a chaotic situation that's going on in your life right now, anything that like you feel like is just so much and you just don't know how to handle it, this song kind of just shows you that, you know, God is there and He cares, and no matter what you're going through, no matter what the chaos in your life looks like, He's going to make something beautiful out of that chaos. And no matter how hard your situation might be, or how difficult you think your circumstances are, there's always something beautiful to be found in the midst of all the chaos. And so that song is really speaking to me right now. But even more than that is a song by Hillsong United, and it's called Good Grace. And oh my gosh, I have not been able to turn that song off since I first heard it. Like, I'm not kidding. I have that song on repeat. I've been playing it nonstop in my house. I've been playing it nonstop when I leave the house. When I take a shower, I'm like singing that song. That song is like literally ministering to my life right now.